So there are different types of genetic counselors, but they all essentially do the same thing. First, they look at a patient's family history. They use the family history to assess a patient's risk for certain genetic conditions. If it's determined that a patient is at risk for a certain genetic condition, the genetic counselor will explain this genetic condition to the patient. If applicable, the genetic counselor may also suggest certain genetic testing for the patient to undergo, which will give more information as to whether or not the patient has that genetic condition or not. Whether or not the patient does the genetic testing is up to the patient. The genetic counselor provides the patient with all the necessary information that they will need to make an informed decision regarding their and their family's health. For example, with prenatal genetic counseling, if a patient is determined to have a child at risk of something such as Down syndrome, then the genetic counselor can explain the situation and help the patient make a choice regarding whether or not to terminate the pregnancy. The most important thing about genetic counselors is that no matter what decision the patient makes, they are there to support them. There are many different ways that the genetic counselor can support the patient. Examples include coordinating with the patient's doctors, providing emotional support, and providing access to resources for living with certain genetic conditions or taking care of family members with certain genetic conditions. Essentially, what genetic counselors do is they assess a patient's risk for genetic conditions, explain the genetic conditions to that patient, and give them the information necessary so that the patient can make informed decisions on their own. They then support whatever decisions the patient makes. So there are a lot of different things that I like to do in my spare time, with my favorite one probably being video games. Specifically, I like to play role-playing video games, which is where you make a character and you play as that character. I usually do this either alone or with friends. This is also partially why I love playing D&D with my friends, since that is also very role-playing-esque, where you make characters and all your characters interact with each other and make stories. I really enjoy that aspect of the game because it allows for me to, one, interact with my friends, and two, kind of express my creativity more. Occasionally, I will express creativity in a more traditional outlet. I write my own stories online and post them anonymously, and I've gotten good feedback on that, and that motivates me to continue writing. I also really enjoy reading books, comics, manga, all sorts of things. And I have recently started cooking with my younger sibling since they've been back from college for winter break. We've been trying out a bunch of my mom's recipes and some new ones, and it's really nice getting to spend time with them. So basically, a lot of my academic focus is on science, and so it's nice to be able to take the time to be creative in my free time and have an outlet for that.